Burnout, Guilt, or Playing Small, Part 2. So yesterday I came on here and I talked about how to expand after success. And I told a little bit of my story. And so if you missed that live, definitely go back and watch it. But I wanted to continue today talking a little bit more about what is required to expand after you have success. If you are like a lot of the most successful, most driven people, having it all is something that like you understand what people say when they use that phrase, but it doesn't seem possible for you. Like you're someone who is never satisfied. You're someone who always wants more. The picture behind me, in case you can't read it in reverse, but it says, be a stiletto in a room full of flats. So if you're that person who's willing to be that high heel, the little bit of extra in a room full of flats, this idea, this stream, this idea of, how to expand after success will help you, because if you speak to most people, they'll tell you, but you've already done this, this, and this. You already have this, this, and this. You've got, more than most people have. That should be enough for you. And the truth is, only you get to decide what is enough and what isn't enough. But what happens sometimes is when you're really highly driven, highly motivated, you get to a point where you've achieved everything on your to-do list. You've like conquered every goal and you're like, what's next? I've had one of my closest friends actually was running a company and ran out of goals. So he like retired and hated that. Just recently has gone back to the company. He's taken himself out of retirement, but was looking for another hill to climb. I mentioned in the last live stream that I have another friend who has a law firm, and we were catching up at a party a couple months ago, and she was like, I have achieved every single goal I could have set for myself as a lawyer. I need a new mountain to climb. And if that is an idea that resonates with you, this live stream is for you. If you are someone who feels like, oh my gosh, like I'm just not happy unless I'm growing, expanding, pushing myself, becoming a better, bigger, more expansive version of me, I'm here to talk to you today, because that drive is amazing. That drive is what moves civilization forward. But if you don't have the right guardrails in place, you'll burn yourself out, or you kind of will go to the other extreme and deny it because you don't want to freak people out, and you'll end up playing small, which will make you miserable. Like, who wants to be miserable in this lifetime? Not me, and I know not you. That's why you're watching. And I'm gonna sip my tea. Before I get all the way into it, I just want to shout out my Diana Bando jewelry. If you're looking for beautiful accessories that are, you can wear to work, you can wear on a date, you can wear to church, I have a jewelry line, and this necklace is one of the pieces. These little beads are citrine, and this is a pearl. So if you want something new and special, Diana Bando jewelry, available at dianabando.com. And if you use code VIP20, you get 20% off. Now, let's talk more about how to expand after success. So the big thing I want to talk about today, and I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything, is, yesterday I talked about the importance of state. Today I want to talk a little bit more about your internal operating system, because that is what helps you expand. So we all have, sometimes it's referred to as a blueprint, homeostatic level, sometimes it's referred to as a container, but we all have a certain amount of like goodness that we feel comfortable with, or, not good. Like there's like a certain level of health, a certain level of wealth, a certain level of success that we just feel totally comfortable with. And then when you go past that level, it freaks out your nervous system. And so what it does is it tries to get you back down to where you were before. And so why does that matter for you? Well, if you're someone who's like checked off all the boxes and done all the things you ever wanted to do, and then you try and expand past that, your nervous system is going to say, we don't think so. And will try and knock you back down to what is familiar. So I gave the example of winning the lottery in the last live. People can win the lottery, and because they're not used to or comfortable with this new level of wealth, their nervous system seeks out ways to get rid of the wealth as quickly as possible. I say nervous system, it's the subconscious mind, goes to work to get rid of it so that they can go back to the familiar levels of wealth. But the problem is, if the level of wealth has so greatly exceeded what they're comfortable with, sometimes there's an overcorrection, and it, rather than get you back to where you were, drags you down to a place that's way worse. And for highly driven people, that means that you then have to climb back to where you were. And the feeling of climbing to where you were is actually where you're happy. So what you want to do is, rather than put yourself in a place where you have to go to like in the negative to then climb, you want to expand your capacity for peace, love, joy, so it's safe for you to continually reach for more without doing things that are going to make you self-sabotage. So how do you do that? Number one is by quieting the noise in your mind. The voices in your head, the thing like, what are they going to think? What if I fail? They're going to laugh at me. All that noise will stop you from expanding. In order to really stretch and expand your homeostatic level, your blueprint, your container, you have to have a very, very clear like hotline to your inner guidance, your intuition. And, the clearer you can hear that, the more you can expand. The harder it is to hear that, the less expansion you're capable of. So let me talk about this in my life. So I began my current spiritual journey during COVID, and so much has happened. But in the beginning of the journey, I wanted I just wanted everything. I'm like, okay, like I want to be able to meditate for hours and hours, and I want to be able to just do all these things. And I went through a period where I was really, doing like 3 hours of journaling every morning. And because I just wasn't used to the improvements that were happening, which were great, I then kind of overcorrected and went through a season where I just wasn't doing any of the things. And in that time, like I attracted romantic partners, employers, just all these things that were just so not a match for who I'm becoming, who I'm wanting to be. And why was that happening? Because I was trying to put the horse before the cart. I was trying to like make everything in my outer world change without doing the inner world foundational work that needs to happen first. And so when you do the things that I talk about doing, like, using various tools to get your subconscious mind comfortable with the reality that you want before it happens, when it arrives, it feels almost like you're remembering your future as opposed to experiencing it for the first time. And rather than your nervous system freaking out and telling you, we need to like get rid of this and go back to what's familiar, the thing that you're moving towards is what is familiar. So the big thing that I feel like is often stopping us from getting into what I'm talking about is thinking it's going to feel like another thing on my plate and I just don't have time. And so I created a 7-day executive reset program, and it's extracted from a retired course called She's a Badass that's no longer available. But it was designed to be digestible, bite-sized nuggets that you can do in the morning or whenever you want, but ideally in the morning, about 15 to 20 minutes max, that will help you with the process of one, quieting that inner noise, and then expanding your capacity to hold more success, more love, more money, more whatever it is that you desire, so that as it comes to you, it feels familiar rather than like something you just need to get rid of. I know that some people say things like, oh, when things are going too well, I get nervous. This is exactly why. Like, if you haven't done the work on the front end to make yourself feel worthy and deserving and safe of having that more that you really desire, then when it comes to you, it'll feel more like a threat than a blessing. And you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to feel very safe and very comfortable in receiving the things that you desire. So there are some people, and I was one of them, who maybe think that coaching or mindset tools are not for them, which is why I feel like the 7-day executive reset is a great introduction to it. I know that when I first learned about life coaching, I thought like, this is not for me. Like, these people who are quote unquote life coaches, like none of them have had the experiences I've had. None of them have the education I have. They can't possibly understand my life. Well, I am a life coach. I'm a high performance coach, but I'm also a licensed attorney. I also worked at Goldman Sachs. I also, have had various experiences. I've started a business. I've learned more. So I'm like, I've done different things that make it possible for me to understand what it's really like to be in a competitive work environment where you're worried about stock prices, or you're worried about people potentially losing their jobs if a deal doesn't close, or you're competing with, when I was at Goldman, it was like, other banks. And so in the legal department, you're wanting to make sure that your business people are supported so that they can compete with other people in their space. So anyway, I understand all of that better than the garden variety coach, which is why I created this to be something that you can do quickly, regardless of what your schedule is like, and not feel like it's another thing, and feel like it's really something designed to support you. So let me talk about the structure of the executive reset. It's a 7-day program. Day 1 is all focused on your invisible crown. So day 1 is all about teaching you how to silence the chatter in your mind and to kick out the unwanted voices. There's exercises that you can do where you can literally kick out, the unwanted noise from your brain. And I tell you how to do it in under 20 minutes, and then walk you through a guided visualization exercise that really helps you feel like you are in control. A lot of times when people first start meditating, what happens is, they're like, oh, there's just so much noise, there's so much chatter. And yeah, there is when you first start doing this work, but you can tone it down with your will and your intention. Day 2 is all about the techniques needed to strengthen your intuition so that you can know that you're behaving in a way that's in alignment with your highest good and the plan for your life, and not feeling like you're winging it. Day 3 is about releasing mental blocks. So sometimes, even when you know what you're doing, you can feel stuck, or you just feel like you don't have the answer. Or sometimes when you're wanting to expand either into a new business or work with new clients, your mind gets overwhelmed. There's decision fatigue, and learning how to release mental blocks will help you push through that. So that's what I teach in day 3. Day 4 is about activating the power of your voice. So many people are deeply afraid of being seen and being heard, and there's so many reasons for that both have to do with things that have happened in this lifetime and things that have happened throughout human history. And so day 4 is about releasing those things that are stopping you from really unleashing and activating the full power of your voice so you can be seen and heard and feel safe in doing that. Day 5 is about staying in your lane. So a lot of people dilute their power and dilute their influence and their authority by, rather than staying focused on what it is that they're wanting to create and experience in this lifetime, thinking about a bunch of things that are completely beyond their control. And the secret to being able to expand and have more is hyper focusing on the things within your zone of control, rather than wasting energy thinking about the things that you can't control. So I talk about the 3 types of business. There's your business, God's business, and other people's business. And a lot of people, waste a lot of energy focusing on other people's business and God's business. Not you though, not after doing this course. You will know how to focus on just your business so that you can have all of the things that you want: the peace, the love, the joy, the friendships, the connection, all of it. Day 6 is about eliminating mental clutter. So I've talked about mental blocks, I've talked about intuition, but mental clutter is another, silent killer of dreams and hopes and aspirations. And so I will give you a technique that will help you release mental clutter. It's something that's designed to be done every single day, but when I do it, I notice a difference for about 3 days. So if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. But this again will help you with tapping into your power and tapping into the vision for what's next for me, rather than feeling like I've got to keep living the same day on repeat, or I keep doing this thing because I've got mastery in it. Really tap into what's next. And then day 7 is about a tool that will help you prevent self-sabotage by familiarizing yourself with the future that you want before it happens, so that when it comes to you, it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, things are going too well, something's gonna, the shoe's gonna drop. No, it'll feel like this is exactly the future I've been wanting. I've seen it, it's familiar, and this will help you with, not just thinking long term, but thinking, what do I want in every single day, to make, my life feel the way I want it to. So that is the structure of the 7-day executive reset program and what it's designed to do, like to help you get rid of the noise, to help you focus on what it is that you're trying to create, and also to help you get really clear on what's next. So maybe what's next for you is a new level of connection in your primary romantic relationship. Maybe what's next for you is a new business venture. Maybe what's next for you is stepping up, like how world class you are in what you're currently doing in your career, like going from just being really good to being one of one. Like, what is next for you? Whatever it is, if you don't already know the answer, this will help you get clear on what the answer is. And if you do know the answer, this will help you really hyper focus your power and your ability so that you can more dynamically move towards that goal that you have for yourself, that future, that vision. And so if you wanted to go through all of the material that's inside of the 7-day executive reset with me one-on-one, it would take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. And at my current rate, that would start at around $6,000 to work with me one-on-one. And so that is, the value of just the one-on-one information. But the program is not $6,000, it's $999. I love angel numbers, and so $999 is the price. And there are financing options available, like Klarna, after Affirm. So there's different, you can pay it all at once, or you can pay over time with one of the different financing options that are available at checkout. So I would love to see you inside the 7-day executive reset. It will be a game changer for you. And like, if I had known the techniques that are inside this program, years before I did, like, I just feel like my life would look so different. I'm grateful to know them now. I know that they are life-changing for me, and believe that they will be for you as well. And there is a new program that I just launched right before this live. I'm not going to talk about it here, but if you decide to enroll in the executive reset today, you will be able to use your purchase price from the executive reset to enroll in this new program. So the new program is about spirituality and deepening your spiritual connection, and it's going to be incredible. So, and that will be one-on-one sessions, not just a pre-recorded program that's instant access. So let me make sure. I feel like there's one other thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah. So if you book today, if you sign up for the 7-day executive reset today, there is a fast action bonus, and you will be gifted a 30-minute coaching session one-on-one with me. And those are normally valued at $1,000. So this program is already worth over $6,000 in terms of like what it would take to work with me one-on-one. It's $999. So that's, a significant discount on, the value. And you'll also get a complimentary session with me. And right now 30-minute sessions are $1,000. So you're getting way more than what you're paying for in terms of value. But I just want you to have access to this information. So I don't care about the difference between like what it could cost and what it does cost. I just want you to have it. And I know this will be game changing for you. If you're someone who struggles with feeling like you're overwhelmed because you don't know what's next for you, or you're just not happy, even though you know you should be, this is the solution that you didn't know that you were waiting for. And so I can't wait for you to get inside. I know it's going to be a really powerful, transformative experience for you. And, I don't feel like I have the best words to describe it, but if you were someone who is, who I was thinking of when I designed this, like, it'll feel like coming up for air if you've been holding your breath for a while. So I would love to see you inside the 7-day executive reset. I will leave all the details for registering in the description. And today is April 4th. So if you sign up today, you will get a $1,000 coaching session with me. So I'm just super excited, and I know you're gonna love it. So that's all for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.